Good day everyone, welcome to this video lesson, and today we are going to discuss about solving quadratic equation by quadratic formula or using quadratic formula. At the end of this video, the viewers or learners are expected to solve quadratic equation using quadratic formula. Okay, so let's start now. The quadratic formula for solving quadratic equation is x equals negative b plus and minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So this formula is actually derived from completing the square, but we will not include that in this particular video. So in solving quadratic equation using quadratic formula, there are steps to be observed. First, you have to write the quadratic equation in the standard form or in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So after that, you have to identify the value of a, b, and c and plug them into the quadratic formula. Then use the order of operation to simplify the quadratic formula. Then simplify the radical if it is possible to simplify. Let us have examples on how to solve quadratic equation using quadratic formula. Solve negative 2x squared plus 3x equals negative 5. First, we have to write the given quadratic equation in standard form or in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Okay, so we have to write this one standard form, negative 2x squared plus 3x plus 5 equals 0. So we transpose this one to the left side. Okay, then after that, we have to identify the value of a, b, and c and plug them into the quadratic formula. So our a for the quadratic coefficient is negative 2. Our b, the linear coefficient, which is positive 3. And c is equal to positive 5, meaning the constant. So our quadratic formula is x equals negative b plus and minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, so we will substitute now the values of a, b, and c. So we have to plug these values to the formula. So we have now x equals negative, instead of b, replace that by 3 plus and minus square root of 3 squared minus 4 times a, which is negative 2, times c, which is positive 5. Okay, then divided by 2 times negative 2, which is the value of a. Okay, then we have to use the order of operation to simplify the quadratic formula. So we have now x equals negative times positive 3 is negative 3 plus and minus square root of 3 squared is equal to 9. Then you have there negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8 times positive 5. You have positive 40. So all over 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Okay, next you have negative 3 plus and minus square root of 9 plus 40 is 49 all over negative 4. Okay, so let us continue to simplify this formula or expression. Okay, so you have x equals negative 3 plus and minus the square root of 49 is 7 all over negative 4. Okay? Then we are going to separate these two operations, the plus and minus. And we will come up with two equations. So the first one is x equals negative 3 plus 7 over negative 4. And the other one is x equals negative 3 minus 7 all over negative 4. Okay? We solve first the first equation that we have. So x equals negative 3 plus 7 is positive 4 divided by negative 4. So our x now is negative 1. In the second equation, you have negative 3 minus 7 is negative 10 divided by negative 4. So negative 10 divided by 4, if you express that in lowest term, that is positive 5 over 2, or that is 2 and 1/2. 5 over 2, that is 2 and 1/2, or 2.5. Okay, so therefore, negative 1 and positive 5 over 2 is the solution set of the given quadratic equation. So the solution set now is negative 1, 5 over 2. So this is now the final answer. Okay? So that is how we solve quadratic equation using quadratic. Okay, let us have another example on how to solve quadratic equation using quadratic formula. So the first step is to write that in standard form. So the given equation is not in the standard form. So to write this in standard form, we are going to expand the product of x plus 4 and x plus 12. So you have x times x, you have x squared right there. Then x times 12, you have 12x. Then 4 times x, you have positive 4x. Then 4 times 12, so you have positive 48 equals 0. Then we simplify, we combine 12x and 4x, so we have now x squared plus 16x plus 48 equals 0. Okay? So then after that, we have to identify the value of a. So our a is equal to 1, b is equal to 16, and c is equal to 48. Okay? So we'll substitute this to the formula, and our formula is x equals negative b plus and minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So if we substitute, we'll have now negative of positive 16 plus and minus square root of 16 squared minus 4 times 1 and then times 48. So all over 2 times 1. Okay, so we have now x equals negative times 16 is negative 16 plus and minus 16 squared. What's the value of? Okay, we have the square root of 16, meaning 16 times 16. We have 256. We have 256. Then negative 4 times 1 times 48. So this is negative 192. Okay? All over 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, so let us continue the process. Okay. So we have now x is equal to negative 16 plus and minus square root of 256 minus 192 is 64. So 64. 64 all over 2. So x now is equal to negative 16 plus and minus the square root of 64 is 8 all over 2. Okay? Then we will separate now the plus and minus. And we will come up again with two equations. So first equation is x equals negative 16 plus 8 all over 2. And the other one is x equals negative 16 minus 8 all over 2. Okay? So let us solve the first equation. X equals negative 16 plus 8 is negative 8 divided by 2. So our x is negative 4. Okay? Then the other equation, x is equal to negative 16 minus 8 is negative 24 divided by 2. So our x is negative 12. So therefore, the value of x is negative 4 and negative 12. Okay, negative 12. So this is now the solution set of the given quadratic equation. The quadratic equation. So let us have another example. Solve 10 plus 7x minus 3x squared equals 0. Okay? So first we have to write this in standard form. So we simply rearrange the term. So the negative 3x squared comes first, followed by 7x, followed by 10 equals 0. Okay? So then after this, we have to identify the value of a, b, and c. So a now is equal to negative 3. This is the quadratic coefficient. B is positive 7, the linear coefficient. And C is positive 10. Then we'll plug these values to the quadratic formula. Again, the quadratic formula is x equals negative b plus and minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So we have now x equals negative of positive 7 plus and minus square root of 7 squared minus 4 times negative 3 times 10. Okay? So divided by 2 times negative 3. Okay, we are going to simplify. Okay, so x now is equal to negative 7 plus minus square root of 49. 7 squared is 49. Negative 4 times negative 3 is positive 12 times 10 is 120. So divided by negative 6. So we have now x equals negative 7 plus and minus square root of 49 plus 120 is equal to 169 all over negative 6. So we have x now equals negative 7 plus and minus square root of 169 is positive 13. Okay? All over negative 6. Okay? So we are going to separate the plus and minus. So we'll come up with two equations. So x is equal to negative 7 plus 13 divided by negative 6. And the second equation is x equals negative 7 minus 13 all over negative 6. So negative 7 plus 13. Negative 7 plus 13 is positive 6 divided by negative 6. So your x now is negative 1. Okay? So the other equation, x equals negative 7 minus 13. This is negative 20 divided by negative 6. So x now is equal to 10 over 3. Positive 10 over 3. Okay, so this is the second value of x. So therefore, the solution set is negative 1 and 10 over 3. Okay, so that is now the value of x. And let us have exercises. Solve the following quadratic equation by quadratic formula. The first equation is x squared minus 8x plus 14 equals 0. Second is 2x squared minus 5x equals 12. And the third one is 3x squared plus 4 equals negative 7x. Okay, so you can try to solve this one. You pause the video first so that you have time to solve. And after you solve, you continue watching so you could be able to compare your answer. Okay, here are the solution and the solution set. Okay, so for number 1, the values of x are 4 plus square root of 2 and 4 minus square root of 2. Then for number 2 solution, and the solution set is positive 4 and negative 3 halves. And number 3, the solution set or the values of x, negative 1 and negative 4/3. Okay, so that is the answer for the exercises. Okay, thank you for watching this video and I hope you learned something. Until next time, thank you.